Last member of our panel here, Vince Ferrara joins us. Vince, thanks for being here.
Appreciate you.
I like the shirt-coat combo. It's
Thank
a good
you.
look. Thanks for being here. Now, the poll question. I want to put this up for you folks at home. There we go. Could mass changes ever make you lose interest in college football? Your options are, if I could read them, they've already got me. There's nothing, basically, they've already got me. There's nothing that could hurt that. If it becomes semi-pro, that might cause me to lose interest. Mega conferences could cause me to lose interest. And then the last option, which surprises me, those who've been online and voted, already getting there, already starting to lose interest. We'll see if that stands. What you got to do is take your phone, get that QR code. That'll take you right to our website, or you can just go to our website, sportsource.tv, look for the polls button, click that, and tell us how you feel, and you can watch the little lines move. But tell us how you think. Could it impact you as a Tennessee or SEC sports fan? Or are you like, nah, I'm in, no matter what? All right, let's take a look with Ryan and Vince here at the SEC over-unders that I just mentioned as we went to break. All right, what you got? Up at the top, and this is for the Action Network, the Circa Sportsbook, and FanDuel. Action Network and FanDuel are pretty much the same. Circa's a little off. They do some without the half, so they'll risk the push. But you got Georgia and Texas at 10.5. Ahead of everybody else. Then you got Alabama and Ole Miss at 9.5 across the board. That's their over/under win total. Then you've got LSU, Missouri, and Tennessee 9.5, 9, 9.5. So let's just look at that top half there, guys. Vince, your thoughts on the over/under win totals there? Is Tennessee about right? 9.5, 9, 9.5.
I do think Tennessee is right. I think it's in that range. I obviously, the offense is still going to be very good, defensive line. So you have a nice base there. I don't think the schedule is overwhelming. So I think it's in the right range. Georgia is one that I'd probably still go the over. I mean, until they show me, like LSU went through a couple of years ago, that class after class of all of these players going to the NFL is holding them back and bringing them back to the pack a little bit. I'm just going to kind of, like we did for Alabama, a lot of times just default to them because of the stockpile talent. So I think it was pretty accurate on those two.
I would have Georgia just a tick ahead of Texas.
Yeah.
There's some unknown about Texas coming in, I mean, just in my view. So we'll see about that one. But I would have Georgia, then Texas. I don't know that I'd have Ole Miss equal with Alabama.
Yeah, the odds I'm sure might favor the under on some of those. Texas is one. I agree. I don't know that I'd knock them down to 9.5, but I'd say maybe 10. You know, somewhere around there. I just
risk the push.
Yeah, Georgia's a little ahead of them in my mind. I think the others are about right. I think what that shows you, a lot of 9.5, right? A lot of no one really knows what to think of that second tier in the SEC, Alabama included. But Tennessee, Missouri's got an easy schedule. That's one of the reasons you see that. But Tennessee, I think they're in the right range. I think 9 is probably the most accurate number. The problem is everywhere that has them as 9.5, the odds favor the under. Everyone that has them at 8.5 is what it started one place.
Yes.
The odds favored the over. So everyone sees them as a 9-win team, basically.
Yeah, see, to me, it's jumped a little too high.
Yeah.
I think it should have stayed about 8.5. I think their outlook this year for me is 8 or 9 wins, not 9 or 10 wins. I could see the 9. I would probably go over on the 8.5 and under on the 9.5. I would put them down there with Texas A&M. I go back to new quarterback. We'll see how that all breaks in. But 8.5 seems more correct to me. You were going to say?
I was going to say, the only other team that I think might be a touch high, LSU. I don't know if they're quite at the 9.5 range. I would probably have them 9, 8.5. I think someone's going to fall a little bit in this new SEC. I just don't know who it's going to be. I just think LSU without Jaden Daniels, that's a different team. We don't know exactly how good they're going to be.
Let's go back to the graphic if we could. Let's look at the teams over there on the right side, the losers of the league, if you will. Auburn 7.5, Oklahoma 7.5. 7.5 is the over/under, and this is a team that's consistently ranked in the top 10 in all the preseason polls. Kentucky at 6.5, and then you got the under 500 crew: South Carolina, Arkansas, Florida, Mississippi State, Vandy. Anybody there that should be higher?
Higher? Probably not.
Vince, you bumping anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that Florida is a 4 or 5 win team. The schedule is what gets them there. Mississippi State is intriguing. New coach. What do they look like? Kentucky is one. I saw a list of the top 100 players in college football, and Kentucky actually had 3 players on that list. Tennessee had 1. And
I should have said that when the first segment. I should have said he was the only Vol on the list.
Oklahoma had 0. So I wonder about them also. And they're, whether it's Texas or Oklahoma, one of the two or both, there's going to be an adjustment to the SEC grind week after week. So I wonder about their number two. But above that number, I don't know if I saw anyone really that jumps out.
Okay, that's too low.
I saw a couple that struck me as too high, if you want to go that route.
Yeah.
Well, Texas A&M, we didn't get to them in the first segment.
You dropped them?
I would drop them. 8.5 seems a little high to me with a new coach, a lot of unknowns there. They could be good, but 8 wins seems about right for maybe thinking that's a realistic number for them. And I also, on the low side, Florida. I can make an argument for them to be 3.5, honestly. Their schedule is so tough.
They'd go lower.
I don't know what, 4 as an over-under probably sounds about right to me, but I just don't know if they can get to 5 with that schedule.
That's an interesting point you make about Florida. As a matter of fact, this segment brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. If you're looking for a fun new vacation experience, well, you need to rent your crew a private cabin in the beautiful Smoky Mountains this summer. TripAdvisor users have voted Parkside Cabin Rentals another Traveler's Choice Award this year. They do it every year. Find out why. Visit ParksideCabinRentals.com today. Find the right cabin for you and your group and lock that baby in before it's taken up. Parkside Cabin Rentals. The Ogles put so much pride in what they do. And boy, you see it in every cabin you get up there. Parkside Cabin Rentals.